Is everyone here? Hi, this is Bethany Cosentino. Welcome to the debut episode of Bethline. I'm calling you guys. I'm on here from my very high tech studio in my kitchen breakfast nook. I am sitting next to my co hosts, Mr. Snacks the cat, and my co hostess, Mrs. Josie the rescue pup. Um, Hi. I'm literally so nervous. I have never in my life done anything like this before, but I'm so stoked to be doing this, and I'm so stoked that people seem to be tuning in. I can see you here in the chat. Hello, welcome. I'll just give you guys kind of like a brief little introduction to what the hell Bethline is and why I'm doing it. So, as we all know, there is a global pandemic happening, and we are all being asked to stay inside our homes. And I would hope that all of you out there are following that protocol because it's very important to take this stuff seriously. So anyway, I am a singer-songwriter. I play in a band called Best Coast, and my band just put a new album out called Always Tomorrow. And we were out on the road touring the album, and all of this shit happened, and we had to cancel our shows, head home, and I am now stuck inside for the foreseeable future. And I was trying to come up with an idea and a way to stay engaged. And to be quite honest with you, as a musician right now, I'm not feeling entirely too inspired to do live streams like a lot of other artists are doing. I think it's amazing that artists are getting together the way that they are and performing live from their living rooms and doing all of the things that they're doing. But me personally, I'm just not feeling that musical creative vibe yet. So, together with my team, Best Coast team, we came up with the idea for Bethline, which would give me a way to engage with you guys, talk to you guys, connect with you, and also give me something to do one day a week. So here I am, now allegedly a talk show host. I don't know what the hell this is, but here I am doing it, trying it out. It's the first episode, so bear with me because this is not only a new platform for YouTube, but it's also my first time ever doing anything like this. For those of you in here that know me or have ever interviewed me or have ever talked to me in real life, you know that I love to talk. So this is actually a really good outlet for me because I get to talk to you guys. And with all of the live streaming stuff that's happening right now, I'm also just going to use this time to tell you I'm very freaked out by FaceTime and video chats. I'm starting to get a little bit more used to it because it seems like it's such a way of life now. But I wanted to do something where I could connect with people, but also just stay in my pajamas if I wanted. So for right now, we're just going to keep it to voice activation stuff. So if y'all are sitting at home, I will give you an idea of what it looks like where I am. I'm in my kitchen nook next to the window. The sun is shining. It's a little breezy out. It looks very nice. Snacks is sitting in the sun. I'm wearing a bleached sweatsuit that my friend made for me. And I have a lime spindrift on the table, a glass of water, two scented candles, some chapstick next to me, some crystals, and a little notebook. So that's kind of what my space looks like. And I can see you all in here chatting. If you want to shout me out and let me know what your spaces look like, that'd be fun and entertaining to just be in my head imagining what y'all are looking like out there right now. So anyway, yeah. So that's basically what Bethline is it's just gonna be like a cool, chill, hour-long radio show for me to get on here and talk to you guys. At the end of this, or towards the end of this, oh, I love that all these people are just like in bed with their dogs. I love it. Drinking iced tea, just finished box of Cheez-Its. I love that. I wish I had Cheez-Its right now. Um, anyway, towards the end of this show, if you, wherever you're seeing this from, you'll see that there's a little option where you can, or actually, no, sorry, that's what I'm seeing on my end. You guys, when I open the call line, you will be able to call the phone number. It'll pop up. You'll see it right underneath the little circular icon of Bob and I. And you'll be able to call that number. But that will only happen towards the end of the show when I open the call line. and then I'll be able to take some calls from you guys. If I'm not able to take all the calls, again, bear with me. This is very new to me, and this is also a new platform. So if I miss your calls or if you sit on the line waiting too long, I've also created an email address where you can send some questions that I can also answer. And I have that email open right here on my computer in front of me. The email address is askbethline@gmail.com. So if you want to send me some questions that way too, I will literally be able to see them and answer. So, moving on. That is the spiel of what the show is and how I'm going to try and make this thing work for the foreseeable future. So, every episode, I'm going to try to have a guest. I'm going to try to have a theme. Today doesn't really have a theme because I'm just sort of getting used to this thing and trying to figure out how it actually works. So, next week, we'll probably have a theme, but I want to try to have a guest every week. And this week, it seemed like a smart idea to have this person that's coming on to talk to me because she was actually out on tour with Best Coast with us, with her band, Mannequin Pussy. And we kind of experienced this whole thing together. And I thought it would be a really good idea to call her and talk to her and have her come in and to sort of chat with me about what went down, what it all looked like, the fact that we literally never got to say goodbye to each other, which was so sad, and to sort of check in with her and see what she's doing and what her life is looking like at home. Her name is Marisa Dabice. I literally have her last name written in front of me, how to pronounce it, because as an Italian woman with a very complicated last name, my name gets butchered constantly. So I texted Marisa earlier and was like, how do I pronounce your name? I don't want to butcher it. So I literally have it written here, Dabice. That's how you say it if you were ever wondering. So I'm going to call Marisa in a second here. I'm going to get her on. We're going to talk about what life is looking like, and then we'll have a quick little chat. You guys can send, unfortunately, let me just say this. Unfortunately, I can't have Marisa on the line and then also bring callers in. That's not something that I'm capable of doing on this. So if you have questions specifically for Marisa and I, or just Marisa, you can type them in this little chat box because I am able to see stuff here. You can also email it to the email, which is askbethline@gmail.com, and I can try to ask those questions. But we're just going to kind of have a little conversation and see where one another is at. And she has a really good a vibe about her that I'm like very interested in how she maintains it. So I want to ask her. She's very chill. I noticed that when we were on tour. She's a very chill person, and I aspire to be chiller in life. So I told her 3:15, but it's 3:08 now. I feel like I've talked enough on my own. I've sort of given you guys the vibe on what this is even going to look like. So I think I'm just going to call her. So give me a second here. I'm going to call Marisa. We're going to have a chat, and then we'll go from there. So hold, please. Marisa, if you're listening, I'm calling you. And remember, if you're listening on your computer, to mute the volume because it will feedback when you pick up. So if you're listening, calling.
Hey, what's up, girl?
What's up?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I look like shit, but I'm drinking a smoothie.
Ooh,
so I feel good.
What's in your smoothie? I want to know.
I have some mango, pineapple, blueberry thing going on.
I love it. What are you wearing?
So
What are you wearing? I want to know what you're wearing.
What are you wearing? Right now I'm wearing actually all the clothes I got gifted after my luggage fell out of the van.
Okay, wait. So okay, go on. Explain the outfit.
Well, I got these thrifted pants in Chicago at our last show.
I remember those pants.
Of tour that are like some cool linen thing, and then a shirt that Vans gave me that's like stripy and kind of cute, and then the rest, I don't know. Are people showering like regularly? I don't know.
I'm having to like force myself to shower. It's like part of my agenda in the morning is like get up and like feed my animals and have some coffee, and then I usually don't shower until like noon, if I'm being honest with you. And sometimes I just don't do it at all because I'm like, what is the point at this moment in time?
I'm not like
People,
waking up to immune right at the moment, so like I need to get
people,
on a routine. I feel like that's a good thing to do.
I just want you to know that there are people in here on the chat that I can see that are saying, no, ma'am, no showers here. No, I am not showering, only showering every other day. This person says you got to keep a routine to keep sane.
Oh
One,
my God. Well,
one,
they're right
they
about
are
that.
right. They are right. One thing I wanted to ask you, because yes, your luggage fell out of the fucking van while we were on tour. And the
Yeah.
next day I saw you and your phone was also broken and you were like so goddamn chill. And I want to understand, like, how are you like that? Do you have like a mantra? Is there like a thing you're practicing? Like, how do you stay so chill?
I think it's like there's no mantra, there's no nothing. I think I've just like had enough, like, to be kind of morbid. I've had enough just like really bad traumatic shit happen in my life that anything that happens now, like, just I'm like, whatever. I can get new clothes. Like, I can get a new phone.
Yeah.
I can go through things that are easily fixable.
Yeah, totally.
You know, because of everything else. It helps. Like the perspective, I think, is like what keeps me chill now.
Yeah,
so even this, which like is a terrible, like very unfortunate situation that we're going through. I'm like, okay, well, I get to talk to my friend Beth and hang out.
It's true.
And try something new.
It's true. It's so true. Someone in here says, you just got to relax, man. That is my new mantra. You just got to relax, man. Okay, so I want to just like briefly like talk to you about like just for people to understand, because you and I talked yesterday a little bit and we were talking about how like while we were on tour, we were like, I feel like when you're on tour, you're almost in like a little bit of a bubble that makes you feel detached from like reality and what's happening outside of tour. So I feel like you and I and our collective like bands and crews, like we were all kind of like, yeah, this is scary and it's real, but like what's going to happen? We didn't really know. I don't think we really knew that our tour was going to get canceled and that everyone was going to be quarantined in their homes like a few weeks later. So I want to just like talk about what tour was like and how that situation went down. So do you remember like when it sort of like for you became like a reality that this shit was wild?
Yes, I do. I think it's like when we were in Seattle.
Yeah,
when
true.
We were in Seattle, and like that was around the time I started seeing a bunch of people online who are like, I'm not going to the show.
Yeah.
I have tickets, but I'm afraid of coronavirus. Or alternatively, since the first show we played in LA, I saw more people online than I've ever seen before. Like, I'm sick, I'm staying home.
Really?
Someone take my tickets for free. Yeah. And like, I don't usually see people posting just about that sort of kind of like general health conscious stuff.
Yeah.
Of like, I'm sick, I'm not going to enter a crowded space.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, okay, like something's going on here. Something's different.
Yeah. You know, I did notice that a lot too. I was noticing a lot of people saying like, I can't make the show. Does anyone want my tickets? And I guess maybe I was existing in like a weird Pollyanna naive world where I just thought maybe like, oh, they can't go to a show. They're just going to give their tickets away. Like, I don't know. I think I will say that, yeah, that Seattle show was crazy because I remember them saying like there's a lot of tickets sold, but it was weirdly, it was like pretty empty. And I remember like looking out and thinking like, there's a lot of space. And I knew that day that was the day that like our tour manager kind of told us like, this is not looking so good. If you guys are able to find like hand sanitizer and wipes, like get that shit. And I was like, okay. And then it sort of just felt like over time, like things just got crazier. And I remember when we were all in Evanston for our show, we were backstage watching, what the hell were we watching? Like Family Feud or something?
Yes.
Yeah, Family Feud. And
you were
saying that like your mom was texting you and like my mom was texting me and my friends back home were texting me. And I think for me, that was really when it hit that I was like, fuck, I don't know what's going to happen. And I was really starting to get like really scared.
My mom was like constantly texting me about like South by Southwest being canceled and like, I think Coachella's going to be canceled because we were supposed to play it.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden I was like looking at our own tour, like, wait a minute, maybe this isn't just like a festival thing. Maybe this is an actual tour thing. Oh wait, can I tell you something before I forget? That's a non sequitur. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, tell me.
my dad told me something that I really wanted to tell you.
Oh, is this the
So he
Italian
was very
story?
excited. Yes, so my dad's dad, my grandpa is Italian. He's from Italy.
Okay.
And apparently his family is from a town called Costantino.
Really?
Yeah. Or
Wow.
my dad very excitedly told me this. He was like, I looked up the band you're on tour with, and like, I think our family used to live in a village called Costantino.
Oh
Am
my
I
God.
saying that right?
Yeah, you said it totally right. I didn't even need to tell you how to do it. You just nailed it.
So like
That's so
maybe like
cool.
generations ago, like your family was like my family's mayor or
What
something.
the hell? What if we're
Like they
just
were all
like,
living together.
what if we're like weirdly related and we never knew? I
I
hope
think
that
it's probably something we should investigate
I hope
later.
that's the case. I really hope that's the case. I love that so much. Tell your dad I said what's up.
Sorry, I didn't want to forget that because I
No, I
promised you I was
love
like,
it.
oh, I have something fun my dad told me.
You
So
did tell me
I got
that,
that out of the
but
way.
no, I mean, I also, it's like, I don't want to be, I don't, because here's the thing. It's like, I know when we talked yesterday, I was explaining to you that this is something that like my team and I like came up with for something for me to do during the quarantine, but I also don't want this thing to just be specifically about like coronavirus and self quarantine and the shelter in place and all that stuff. Cause it's like, I think an important thing to do during this time is to also like talk about other stuff and to focus on like positive things. And when I talked to you yesterday, you had such, again, this is why I wanted to be like, how are you so chill? You had such a like positive way of talking about it, where you were saying, you know, like that there are the music, you had like a really good thing you said about like the music industry and how the music industry isn't really set up for this, and maybe we'll see change from this. And I think we were also discussing like political infrastructures, and like maybe things will change and there will be a shift in perception for a lot of people because of this. So like I wanted to talk to you sort of about like the positive stuff that's going on in your life, and like how you're feeling and how you're dealing with this, and not that we were being doomy, but like I don't want to like bum people out, because this is obviously like a difficult situation for so many people. So like, what are you doing that's like making you feel good? How do you feel like we can like people can evolve from this? Like what are you focusing on that's like making you feel positive right now?
I think it's kind of funny that like you and I we talked about this yesterday a little bit, that like pretty much being in quarantine is kind of what a musician's life
Yeah.
looks like when we're not
Yeah.
on tour.
Yeah.
So like I've kind of just like gone into, if my lifestyle is like a bunch of different streams that like flood into a river that's like being a touring musician, I'm just in like my other stream right now where I'm at home just kind of like puttering around working on a bunch of different projects,
Yeah.
making up like, you know, like keeping myself busy until the next tour. But now it's like, oh my God, I don't
Yeah.
really know
I know.
when the next one is, or like when it's going to come back, or things. But I don't know. I'm lucky. I have like a really nice, like I have a nice home to live in with like everything I need. And I have a cool partner that's fun to hang out with. And we've been cooking a lot. And I have so many unfinished projects.
Yeah.
So before we went on tour with y'all, I was in this place where I was like, oh my God, we're about to be on tour for 2 months. I have so many unfinished things. And that's what makes me anxious, with like when I've started too many things that I don't think I'm ever going to get the chance to really like give myself to.
Yeah,
Because
for
like
sure.
creativity is like quarantine. It's like you need to isolate yourself from other people so that you can see this thing through, and you can like understand like what these sounds are in your head and how to bring them out and how to just like finish an idea. And
Yeah.
it's so fucking hard to do that. So I'm kind of like relishing in this like forced time to just be alone with
Yeah.
these
It's
unfinished projects.
yeah,
I
it's
don't
so
know.
true. It's so true. And it's like, I mean, when we were talking yesterday, I was saying to you, I was like, I guess I'm a talk show host now. Like, I guess this is what I'm doing. Like, it's just like, it's cool that we get to explore like other levels of like creativity. Cause we were talking about this yesterday, and I talked about this a little bit before I called you too. It's like, there's so many musicians out there right now that are doing these like live stream concerts, and like I think it's awesome, and I'm stoked for them, and I'm stoked for their fans that get to listen to them and watch them. But like I just don't feel that creative thing right now. And I know you said yesterday you didn't feel it very much either. And it's like I think also for us being like members of bands, it's like more difficult to sit at home and like try and like conference in everybody and be like, hey, everybody, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Like, so I think it's like, it's been really interesting for me to try and like, you know, to create this and try to like find a way to stay engaged and use my platform, but to do it in a roundabout way, because as you just said, it's like being creative is a bit of a quarantine in its own. So I love that you said that. I think that should go on like a t-shirt or a pillow or something. I think that should be like merch, mannequin pussy merch.
I'm reading something here that Marina says that it's really hard to be creative through all of the panic. I totally feel you.
I feel
Marina.
you too,
like,
Marina.
I think that's definitely something to get through, because I don't know, like panic is like that kind of like infestation too, because panic's just anxiety, and that's like it prevents you from being able to like dive into those places in your mind. But like when things are bad, it's usually when you kind of have to use your imagination to escape it a little bit.
It's so true.
Everyone's using, I don't know, I kind of hope that like throughout this whole thing, people maybe come out of this with like more of an appreciation for what people do and make. And when I say like people, I mean like the United States government, because like the amount of like grants and funding and things that are available to artists in this country are it's pathetic.
It is.
And there's just like no avenues for us to get that kind of support. But you know, what do we have when things are bad? We only have our imagination to try to feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's so true. This person says, Duncan says, kind of strange. There won't be a where were you moment for this. I think it became clear for everyone at different times, no single shared moment. I agree with that. And it's like you and I said, like,
totally.
You were saying like you felt it in Seattle, and I didn't feel it until Chicago, really. I mean, honestly, I didn't really feel it until I got the call that our DC show was being canceled. I was just like, oh, okay. And I like publicly, like on the air here with people listening, want to say that like I feel like there was a moment where I was tweeting a lot and I was engaging and saying like, we're not fucking canceling shit, because like I really didn't, that was my own, I think that was my own way of like protecting myself and my anxiety, because I'm a super anxious person. Like I just sort of cut myself off from information, and that's what sort of made me think like, well, we won't have to cancel anything, because I wasn't really informed. And now that I'm informed, I'm
we didn't want to like I like to have control over these situations, and I'm like, I don't want to cancel. I know Beth doesn't want to cancel. Like let's like let it up to the free will of people as to like whether or not they want to come. But
I know
that that's irresponsible in and of itself, because I wasn't really thinking of like the whole web of this.
Same. Me too. I mean, that's why like that morning of our, because you know, when we finally like realized that we were going to have to, for everyone listening, like we realized that we were going to have to cancel these shows and go home, but we were planning to play our show in Detroit because we were already in Detroit, and it seemed like, you know, I wanted to like, because it's also like, we know, you and I both know that like music is a healing thing in and of itself. So it felt like, why don't we give people something to look forward to take their minds off of what was going on? But I woke up that morning of the Detroit show and was like, this feels so irresponsible. Like, I don't think I should be bringing people together. And I was so conflicted, and had so much anxiety. And then before I knew it, the show was canceled. So it was just kind of like,
the choice was made for you.
Yeah, the universe / Michigan made the decision for us, you know? And like,
so this is why to your listeners, we didn't get to say goodbye to each other, because we were on our way to the Detroit show when we found out that the Detroit show was canceled. So then you all had gotten to the airport at that point, and then like we went to Detroit to pick up our stuff that you were so graciously carrying for us. And then we're like, fuck it. Let's just drive home to Philly. And then that was like 10 hours.
I know. It was so, that day was like so sad on so many levels, because I didn't get to say goodbye to you guys.
I can't hear you.
Oh, am I there? Can you hear me? Hello?
Beth?
Can you hear me? Marissa? Hello?
Beth?
Can you hear me? They're saying they can hear me.
Can you guys hear me? I can't hear Beth. Hold on.
Is there a chat?
Oh, no, we can't hear each other. Okay, we'll figure this out.
They're saying they can hear us.
Beth, I'm going to hang up. Call me right back.
Okay, I'll call you back. Hi, guys. I see that you can hear us. I'm going to call her back. Thank you for bearing with me. And Marisa, let's get her back.
Beth?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, yes. Oh my God, I can hear your beautiful voice.
Okay, great.
Wow, so
Sorry,
you just survived
y'all.
your first technical difficulty of your show.
I got through it. Someone said tech difficulties. Uh-oh, but guess what? We got through it. This person says,
Guess what, bitch? We're fucking back.
Bruce says this is awesome, even the technical issues. You guys, this is just life on life's terms up in here. Okay, so we were saying, yeah, that day it was like I just like, for people that don't like, here's the thing. I know that the pandemic isn't happening to just me. I know it's not happening. Oh, Epitaph is listening. They just did a peace sign.
Oh, what up?
What up,
Hi,
Epitaph?
Label Daddy. I love you.
I know that this is happening to everybody and it's a collective like human experience right now. But one thing I want to say is that like I've been trying to really like be very like outspoken about the way in which this is affecting people's mental health because it's like as an artist, and I'm sure you can relate to this, like when you come home from tour, like there's such a being on tour and like having something to do every single day is so like intense. And then when you get home from tour, you sort of again go into this almost like self-isolation thing where it's like your life just goes from like doing the most to doing nothing. So for
You go into a
me,
dark place. You go
yes,
into a dark place when you get home
exactly,
from tour, for
exactly.
sure.
So for me, it was like I was so upset. I was obviously so sad to not be able to say goodbye to you. I was so sad for like the state of the world and everything that was going on. But I was also like really nervous because I was like to be pushed into like post tour depression in that quickly. Like it was just really freaky for me. And I think I'm on the other side of that now. I think having a week to transition, like now I feel a lot better and I've like become used to this life a little bit in the span of a week. And like, I think that day, like I was just so sad because I was like, oh God, like now I just literally have to go home and be alone after being around all these people for the last few weeks. Did you like experience that at all?
Yeah, I felt really sad when we came home. And it was like definitely those first couple of days were like very difficult to get out of bed. Like
Yeah.
I talked a lot, like my typical schedule is like I'm usually up till like anywhere from like 3 to 5 in the morning, and then I don't get up till noon just because like that's like my peak hours of like my brain being active are just really late at night.
Yeah.
And that's great on tour too because like that's kind of like your peak hours are just normal. And now I'm just like getting out of bed. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
And I think that's why I've just been so obsessive about like trying to find any kind of like little unfinished project on my computer or in my brain because like that's kind of always how I've kept my depression not at bay but like manageable.
Yeah.
Where if I can like set tasks for myself that I can do, I just feel better.
Yeah.
And eating, like I think once like cooking for yourself. I heard this fascinating thing once on Coast to Coast, which is like this conspiracy alien talk show.
Love it.
I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's fucking wonderful. They had this some sort of like neuroscientist who came on once to talk about pretty much how like everything in our modern technology is designed to just give us like bursts of dopamine, but nothing. And that's why we feel like kind of like empty when we've been on our phone too long or they like engineer like this, like when you can pull down to see if you have any new mail and it does that circle, that releases like a rush of dopamine into your brain, which is like why people are obsessed with doing it, even though there's nothing new in the inbox.
Wow.
But anyway, he said that there's only 3 things that give your brain serotonin. And it's like cooking for yourself or for someone else. And like spending time cooking a meal releases serotonin into your head. Face-to-face interaction, which is obviously a challenge right now. But I think the beauty of technology is that we still have ways to communicate with people that like releases that serotonin into your brain.
Yeah.
And then I think the third is just working out and being active. And like, that's it. Those are the 3 that like long-term can change your brain activity.
Yeah.
But
And
like
that,
when you're feeling down, you don't want to do any of those things.
no, I know. I know it's such a struggle. It's like literally a mental gymnastics situation, like on a daily basis to like get my ass out of bed and do some stuff. And I think that's part of like what makes me feel better about this whole thing is that I know that that is not, because of course when you're like depressed or you're dealing with mental health stuff, like it's so easy to go to the place of like I'm the only person in the world that feels this way. And while I'm not stoked that so many people all around the world right now are dealing with this feeling of like just being uneasy, like there is something sort of comforting in knowing that we all are kind of on the same page in terms of feeling like uncomfortable and feeling restless and feeling lonely. Even people that, you know, I live alone. I know you live with your partner, and I know that there are people that live with roommates and stuff, but it's like even around a person right now, I think it's very easy to feel isolated and alone and lonely. So I just, I take, I take that into stride and just like remember that it's like, okay, Beth, you're not the only person that feels this way. And this is temporary. This isn't going to be forever. Eventually, like our bands are going to get back on out on the road. Sadly, not together. I'm so sad about that.
No.
But I also understand that you
That
guys.
did make me cry a little bit when,
Oh, me
like, not like a little
too.
bit, when I saw those dates. Because Best Coast, for everyone listening, like, Best Coast sent us some new dates that they were able to schedule in September, but Mannequin Pussy has a tour in October.
Yeah.
And the music industry being what it is with their radius clauses and
Yeah.
things like that, we would be going to like all the same cities. And then now everyone's trying to reschedule their tours for October.
Yeah.
So it was
I
just,
know.
I don't know.
It's,
But to your
it's,
point, this is like the first time, at least in my slice of human history, where I can think of just everyone being affected by the same thing and trying to figure out what comes next together, like at the same time. I
yeah.
think pretty much everything we go through is usually highly personal, that we then find like a handful of people that can relate to those same experiences too. But this is something that everyone's going through, and it's going to be like handling in different ways, and is going to come through in different ways.
Yeah. It's so true. This person says, Melanie M says, we will miss you in Brooklyn in September, Missy. We will miss you too in September.
I'm gonna go to those shows. I'll be around.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'll be in Philly.
Oh my
So
God. Well, then you're gonna come and we're gonna talk and maybe I'll have you sing or like we'll do something. Let's fucking
if
do
there's
it.
time, I'll invite all of Best Coast over to my house, and I'll make you all a meal so
Oh
I
my
can
God, I
release
would
a little
love it.
serotonin into my
Yeah, I
brain.
was just gonna say so we can all get some dopamine shots.
Yeah, serotonin shots.
Oh,
I'm not
sorry.
about that cheap ass dopamine.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm for the real shit.
Yeah, it's true. Dopamine is dope. Yeah, yeah. We're getting the real stuff in here. So Adrian wants to know, what meal would you make us?
Wait, what?
Adrian in the chat wants to know, what meal would you make for Best Coast?
Oh, okay. To be honest, I'm actually a pretty good cook.
I believe you.
I would make I think I would just make like, I'd do something simple like a curry,
Oh, I love
because
that.
it has like the most amount of vegetables and it's healing and delicious.
I
And I
love
like
it.
anything that's kind of like soupy. Soup is my favorite food. So
Ugh, love soup. You
curry,
know,
not technically a soup, but
no, it's great.
basically you eat it with a spoon.
You know, our mutual friend Yasi, who I believe is listening to this right now, shout out
What up,
Yasi, is a
Yossi?
soup lover and a soup cooker. So she is a wonder to the soup world.
I don't know if there's like a soup world like group somewhere, but maybe that's something I should spend in my quarantine time, is just to try to find my soup people.
Yassi's in here, said Yassi said, that's me. Shout out soup girl.
Shout out Eva, the soup goes so hard.
Duncan Hume says, MP said the Euro leg of the tour was rough. What happened? Is that a thing you want to discuss on public air? You don't have to.
No, I don't really want to.
Okay, that's fine.
All I will say is that I definitely let a bunch of like drunk men ruin my time. Europe is just, I don't know.
No, I mean, I get
know.
it. We talked about it, and
Yeah.
I relate. I think it's like, and you also just like to, not to like correct you here, but like you didn't let them ruin your time. It's like it's really difficult when you're performing and you're like not feeling a connection to people, and that is like, I think also as artists we're very sensitive people, so it's hard for us to like
Yeah.
not get in our heads. And I will just say that, like, you know this, I said this every night on tour, like, I'm so, like, I love your band so much, and it was so fun to be on tour with you, because it was so fun to, like, watch people just get so amped for you guys. And I know that you had your own fans that came to the shows as well, but, like, it was just so cool to see people, like, and also our music is very different, so it was really cool to just see how, like, everybody was just so stoked to be there, and it was such a, like, fun, good energy, and you guys rule, and I wish you, like, only the best. I feel like the number one Mannequin Pussy fan who's just out here being like, please buy all Mannequin Pussy's merch and buy their records and do all the things, because you guys are the best.
I loved our tour so much for those like couple weeks. I think like bands, in my like humble opinion, I don't really like going to shows where all the bands sound like the same band,
No, same,
with just like
same.
different members. Like, no, thank you, don't need it.
Same.
I like our bands are similar in that like we're both rock bands.
Yeah.
And we have like a lot of like emotional energy that we're getting out through our songs. So I feel like there's that connection that maybe most people wouldn't see or understand until they were like at the show.
Yeah.
And then like
no,
watching
so
the energy from like the crowd in one performance, and then that transfers, like, I don't know, I just feel like that show should feel like a fucking party.
No,
and
I'm
it
with
should
you.
feel like a spirited, like high energy event.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe you cry a little bit too. Like it's a place to just be safe, to get out all those emotions. And that's what I love so much about it, was just getting to see every night how happy people were in the audience, and how happy they were to see you, because you hadn't been on tour for so long.
I know. And now who knows when we'll go on tour? No, I'm just kidding.
We know.
We do know. September.
Did I ever
right.
tell you I cried to Crazy for You when I was like 23 in a basement of my job? I don't think I ever told you that. But
obsessed.
So I was so excited when we got the tour offer, because I've loved Best Coast for so long, and like I have a very, like, when my life was going to shit when I was like 23 and going through the hardest time, I was like working at this job, and I was working at a bookstore, and I just like I was definitely not at a place mentally where I could separate like my personal life and being at work. And so I was just like being such a bitch to everyone. I was such a little terror. And then finally my boss said something to me. He's like, your mental health is connected to your physical health, right? He's like, I think there's a reason why you've been sick all the time. And it hit me so hard. And he was like, just go down to the basement and cool off. So I went down to the basement and I put on Crazy for You, and I just like sobbed for the whole record, and then like went back up. And so for that, I don't know, that lesson he taught me about like your mental and your physical health being this connection has always been tied to me, to your record. So I'm gonna
cry in my sweatsuit in my corner, in my quarantine corner. That's so sweet. Also, that boss sounds rad.
Oh my God, yeah. He was
a cool boss.
I worked at like a Buddhist. It's called Trident Cafe and Used Booksellers. It was in Boulder, Colorado. When I live in Colorado.
I love that.
Shout out to the Trident. But yeah, it's run by Buddhists, and so I think kind of maybe that's where some of my like.
Yeah, that's part of why you're so chill.
Yeah, I just like worked for Buddhists for years, and like just kind of like picked up a little bit of what they were talking to me about.
I love it. Well, I think that the time has come for me to like get some callers in here and talk to some people. But thank you so much for being my fucking guinea pig on Bethline. I love you. You're the best. I'll see you in September. I guess we're going to hang out in September. You're going to make me curry.
Yes. I might change the meal plan. I'll let you know if I do, but I'm going to hop into the chat and see what's up and listen to your calls.
You are the best. Thank you so much, everybody. This is Marisa Dabice. I've got it out here. Did I say it right? Did I
yeah, you fucking crushed it.
Okay, cool.
That Italian tongue, you got
that Italian tongue. Listen to Mannequin Pussy. They've got like lots of merch and stuff available on their Bandcamp. Please support them. I'm so sad that they will not be joining us in September, but they will be doing their own tour in October. And please support them because they're the best. Thank you, Marisa. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. I love you, Beth. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Hello, everybody. Yes, Noise Pop says bye, Mannequin Pussy Patience. All right. Woo! Got that out of the way. That was amazing. Marissa, thank you so much for being on the show and talking to me. So, here's what's going to happen now. I'm going to open up the fan line and I'm going to take some calls from y'all. One thing I want to tell you, if you are listening to this on your computer, I ask that if you are the person that gets chosen to come on the line, to please mute the volume on your computer, because it will just do like a crazy feedback sort of situation. So, I'm going to open up the fan line. The phone number is going to appear underneath the icon. I can also tell you the phone number right now in case you want to write it down. It's 205-736-3201. And then I also have the email open, which is askbethline@gmail.com. So in case you're waiting too long on the line and you got to go, you can send me an email and I'll try to get to that question either today or maybe next week. So here we go. Going to open this line, get some people in here. This part's going to be a little weird and tricky. I hope I can make it work. So opening the line now. To Allison, who's asking for the number, it's gonna show underneath the little icon. So you'll see it. Here we go. The line is now open. It says fan line is open. Oh, I have a call. Gonna answer. Here we go. Answering. Fan line is open. Oh, hi. Gonna answer. Here we go. Answering. Hi. Caller.
Hello?
What's up?
Oh my God, I'm actually on the phone.
Who are you? What's your name? How's it going?
My name is Jasmine. I'm Best Coast's #1 fan.
Hi, Jasmine, Best Coast #1 fan. Wait, I recognize your voice. Are you from San Francisco?
Yeah, we just met at San Francisco.
I recognize your voice. You've been to how many shows? Please tell the listeners.
Oh, 22.
That's insane. 22 Best Coast shows.
It's not enough.
Oh,
I could have done more.
You're so sweet. That's honestly so cool. I feel like you know me, I'm very like insecure and weird and I never like understand why people like me, and to hear that like there's anybody out there that would come see us 22 times really warms my heart. So thank you for that. You're awesome.
Well, I'm an LA girl. I just love the music so much.
Where in LA are you from?
Palms, Culver City.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice. Culver City.
You know, West LA.
Love it. West Side. Do you have a question for me? Do you want to?
I do.
Okay, what's
but
up?
I don't know if it might be too personal. We'll see.
Well, if it's too personal, I'll tell you it's too personal. I'm pretty good at boundaries.
All right. So, Best Coast, Bethany, you're like not the first artist to hate their massive hit song. I know a couple of bands that refuse to like play their hit song, or they play their hit song randomly, but not every show, like only during random shows, so that the song is still special.
Mm-hmm.
Since I saw you at the LA and the SF show, my question would be like, why do you still play Boyfriend, or why do you think you'll ever stop playing Boyfriend? It might be too soon to stop playing it now, but I don't know.
Okay, that first of all, it's not too personal. I'll fully answer the question. I think for me, it's just like the place that I was at when I wrote Boyfriend. You know, I was like 22. I was like so pining after somebody so hardcore, and you know, there was like a bit of codependency to that pining after somebody. And I think that the place that I'm in now, I've really learned to sort of just like accept life for how it comes, you know? And I think that I'm in such a different headspace than I ever have been. And so I think sometimes when I hear that song in particular, like it feels very, like I feel like it's almost like a therapy session for me where I'm like, oh, I'm not like that anymore. However, the reason we still play it is because I see how happy it makes people. And that really makes it worthwhile for me to play. And that little spiel that I give before we play it, for anybody listening, like who hasn't seen us live, I always just kind of joke and say like, I don't really like this song, but you guys do. I feel like it's just sort of become like a fun little like jokey thing that I have with the fans and with the audience. And I just love how excited people get when we play it, and it sort of like makes me love it in a different way. So all my issues with it aside, like I see that it makes people happy, and that is why I love to play it, because I do really love to just see people happy. So there you go.
I love it. Yeah, it does make the fans happy. I love Boyfriend. I love all your songs.
Oh, thank you so
So
much. Well, it was really nice to talk to you. I'm going to hop off and let some other people get on here.
yeah,
Thank you for your support, and I hope you're staying sane and safe.
I am. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. I'm going to take another call here. Ready? Here we go. Hi, you're on Bethline. What's up? Are you there?
Bethany?
Hi.
Hey Bethany, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's really cool to get to talk to you.
Thank you.
I'm
Where are you?
calling from
Yeah, where are you?
I'm calling from Arlington, Virginia, right
Wow.
outside DC.
Awesome.
Yeah. I just basically a couple of things. First of all, I wanted to thank you actually for being so open, talking about your road to sobriety. Actually, reading that stuff really helped me.
Oh, cool.
Um,
That's awesome to hear.
and
Thanks.
yeah. So I'm a musician and I'm a writer, and I'm in Arlington, which is pretty much totally shut down at this point.
Mhm.
All the restaurants, all the bar, like everything was ordered to be shut down. So I live alone in an apartment and I'm super isolated.
Yeah.
But your music has actually been on nonstop, and it's actually truly helped me kind of get through the last week
Mhm.
um, of being isolated. Because it's just such great music. In particular, California Nights. That whole record
Oh,
really
thank
truly
you.
means a lot to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, it just like it's your music has helped me a lot to get through these like really long, crushing days.
I really appreciate that.
Um,
And I'm with you. I live
yeah,
alone as well, and it's I know that this is very, like I was talking with Marissa, it's like this is such a collective experience, but I do think that people that live alone, like it's pretty difficult because people that live with people, they get to see someone and say, "Hi, how's your day?" and we're kind of
yeah,
left to the devices of, thank God we have technology, but we are kind of left to like the FaceTimes and the Zoom meetings and all that stuff. So I'm with you. I relate to that, but
mm,
I think we're really lucky that we have the technology that we do. Imagine if we were going through this without the ability to like even do something like we're doing today, and it's also really cool because I would have never done a thing like this if the quarantine had never happened. So I'm so
right,
honored that I get to connect with fans, and that I get to talk to people like you that are sitting at home sort of trying to like take care of yourself and do it one day at a time. So I'm happy that to know that like I can connect with you from a distance.
that's awesome. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're
Yeah,
welcome.
we were sad. We were sad to see DC got canceled, but we're looking forward to September. Definitely.
Yeah,
I know me
we're
and a bunch of people.
oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, we're really excited. 9:30 Club is honestly one of my favorite venues in the whole world, so I'm so excited to be there. And I love DC. I spent a
yeah.
lot of time in DC because my best friend went to college at George Washington University, so I would come to DC in the summers and
Oh,
hang
cool.
out, and so it's a fun place for me to go. And I'm really glad that you called and that you like took the time to do something, like to help you get out of your own isolation, to even just like call into a radio line and talk to me. That's a win for you today. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you're the best. Thank you. Huge
Thank
fan.
you. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm going
Thank
to
you, Bethany.
get someone else on the line. I hope you feel better, and just remember, one day at a time. That's all we can
Thank you.
do.
Thank you. God bless.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bethany.
Bye. Okay. What time is it? 3:49. Let's just keep this going. We have 13 people on the line, so I'm going to just keep answering. Let's go. Hello. Welcome to
Oh my
Bethline.
gosh.
Hi.
Hello. Oh my gosh.
How are you? What's your name?
I'm good. I'm Marina. I threw one of the things in there about being creative with anxiety while you were talking to Marissa.
Oh, where are you calling from?
I actually live in DC, so I'm also
Oh,
another person who was going to see you at the 9:30 Club.
look at all these DC people. How you doing? How's life?
Oh my God, it is crazy right now. It's freaking nuts. I'm actually a musician too, and
Mm-hmm.
all my shows have gotten canceled and everything, so it's nuts.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's bonkers. Every day I wake up and I open my eyes and I'm like, is this real life or is this a dream? But it's very real.
Dude, yeah, it's insane. I actually, okay, so I wanted to tell you something real quick.
Okay.
When I started listening to Best Coast when I was like 14. I'm like 22,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the first songs that I ever like sang in front of anybody was Bratty B,
Oh, I
and
love that.
I love that song so much. It's one of my favorites. It was like I was so nervous to sing in front of anybody, and I did that song, and they were like, "Oh, you're actually pretty good." So that was like kind of a jumping point for me doing what I'm doing now. So
Oh, that's so cool. Where did you sing it?
I just sang it in front of a few of my friends. It was like super little.
Oh, I mean, honestly, singing in front of anybody is terrifying, even if it's only one other person. So good for you for doing that.
It's freaking scary, but I love the new record. I love all of your
Thanks.
music.
Thank you.
Okay, so based on that little story, I wanted to ask if you remembered like the first song you learned to play, or like the first one that you ever played in front of people when you were first learning.
Um, let's see. When I first started playing the guitar, I would say that like the first time I ever really like accompanied myself and sang at the same time was actually like an original song that I had written. I was like when I was a teenager, I had a very like acousticy kind of like Joni Mitchell-esque singer-songwriter thing that I would do that was called Bethany Sharia, which is my first and middle name. And I would play shows around town. My dad was in my band. Like my dad played drums in my band, and like his friend would like help me write songs. And so for me to ever like accompany myself and perform my own music, like to have that be the first time was like ultimately like the most fucking terrifying thing in the world, because it was like, oh, I'm not just like covering someone's song, I'm playing my own music. So it was like doubly scary.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it was really crazy. And, I was like super young at the time, and I really never knew that my job would become a professional musician. So, to you and anybody else that's listening, like, you really just don't ever know. And my advice to anybody that's, like to you or anybody who's out there trying to be creative right now, especially in this time, is like, just keep doing it. Just keep doing what you're doing, because you truly don't know where life will take you, and that's really all you can do is try. That's sort of like the message that I tried to convey with Always Tomorrow, is like all we can do is just do life. That's pretty much it. So just keep up what you're doing, and
I
if you're
love it.
feeling if you're feeling uninspired right now, just know that I am too. Know that like a professional, like a person whose job is to be a musician, I also feel uninspired. And I know a lot of other artists that feel really uninspired right now. So just be easy on yourself, and just, like I told the other caller, like one day at a time. It's literally the mantra for this whole situation right now.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for taking my
You're
call. I love Best Coast.
welcome.
I love
Thank
you.
you. Love you. Good luck. Stay safe and
Love you.
sane.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Hi, I'm back. Okay. I think I'm gonna take, let's see. You know what? There's a lot of calls on the line. I'm just gonna keep going. This is my show. I can go as long as I want. If you guys are bored, you can leave. Or if you have places to go, you can leave. But let's keep doing this. All right. I'm gonna answer another call. Here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Jack. I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Hi, Jack. How's it going out in North Carolina?
Going well. It's cool. They just announced a shutdown of the city, or stay-at-home order. So
Yeah.
I'm abiding.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to abide. What's your question? How's it going? What do you
Yeah.
want to talk about?
I was wondering, what is your creative process like, and how does a song come out of you, and like because it seems like everyone just has such a different process for that, for really creating anything. And kind of just curious as to how you go about making shit.
Well, for me, it's like, I mean, it kind of like strikes me in a lot of different ways. Like, inspiration for me can come from the most random place. Like, I can be sitting and watching TV, and then all of a sudden have an idea and like run to my guitar and put that idea down, or I can like wake up on a certain day and say, I'm going to try to write today. And then something can come from that. So for what I've really learned throughout the decade of time that I've been doing Best Coast is like, I don't ever force it. Like if I felt creative today, I would try to be creative, but I don't feel creative today, you know? So it's like, I always just try to like go where the inspiration takes me. And usually when I feel that inspiration, I'll sit down, I'll like pick up the guitar, I'll strum some stuff, I'll try and write some lyrics. It's never really like the same way twice. It's kind of like a snowflake, like everything is always different. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now, is just trying to keep in mind that idea that like the world is in a really intense space right now, and it's okay that I'm not feeling super creative and super inspired. And to anybody, like I was just saying, you know, to the caller before, like to anybody that's feeling that right now, just know that that's okay to feel that way. So I don't know. That's kind of like what it is for me. If that's a boring answer, it's just like, I just go where the inspiration kind of guides me.
Do you feel frustrated by that? Like sometimes you're like, oh man, I really wish I could be making something, or are you just more like, all right, well I can't, so I'm not, and just carry on with your life?
I do definitely feel sometimes frustrated, because I do know a lot of other people that like wake up and they have a schedule and they follow it. And sometimes I'm like, fuck, I wish I could do that. But I think I've just kind of come to terms with the fact that like, this is how my creative process is. And I've learned, like I said, over the last decade, that it's best to not force yourself, you know. That's kind of why I like started this radio show, because I was like, I want to do something, I want to be creative, but music right now doesn't feel like that outlet. So I took a chance, and I'm going to try this thing out and see what happens. So I think for me, it's really just follow your intuition and follow like your gut and what your gut is telling you. And yeah, that's sort of my advice when it comes to that.
All right, right on. Cool.
Thank you for calling. Stay safe.
Yeah, no problem.
Sane.
Thanks for taking it.
All right. Bye.
All right, have a good one. Bye.
You too. Bye. Okay. Oh my God, Carlos, get those therapist vibes flowing. Here I am, therapy on the line. To anyone who's listening, Carlos de la Garza was the producer of Always Tomorrow, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. So I'm happy he's here hanging. All right, let's answer another call. Hello. Hi, are you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Bethany. This is Peyton. I'm calling from Jackson, Mississippi.
Hi, Peyton from Jackson, Mississippi. What's up?
Not much, actually. Hey, Hunter, I'm on the line. My husband's walking in right now. We're both huge fans.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, actually, our first dance at our wedding was No One Like You.
Oh, I love that so much. Where'd you guys get married?
We got married in Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah,
I
like
love
almost
it.
a year, about 11 months ago.
Aw, newlyweds. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
What's your question?
So I guess this is probably kind of a pretty basic question, but I just wanted to ask, I guess, what's your favorite Best Coast song? Because, I mean, I love all of them, but I'm just curious what your personal favorite is.
Oh, well, thank you for loving all the songs. I think my favorite song is, I think Up All Night is my favorite Best Coast song. I love it because I'm a huge sucker and like a huge fan of like kind of like Patsy Cline style ballads. And I love to be able to sing like slow jams. And I remember writing that song, like I vividly really remember writing it, like sitting on my couch in one of my old apartments and just sort of really feeling like I remembered what it was like to just have my anxiety kind of keep me up at night. And so I really love how simple it is. I love the way that I get to sing it. It's also the song that I got to perform live when Lana Del Rey invited me to perform with her. Cool. Yeah, it was so trippy. Awesome. So I would say that is definitely one of my favorite ones, if not my favorite.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we were actually supposed to see you in New Orleans tonight.
Oh, I wish we were there.
Yeah, I know. I saw you, I guess, at the 930 Club in 2013, I think. So it's been a long time.
Oh, cool. But, there's such
y'all were my band of the decade on Spotify. I'm a big fan.
That's awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, it was so nice talking to you.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Right.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye. I know Marina just said so many DC fans. OMG, it's so true. DC represent. All right. Let's take another. Let's just fuck it. Who cares? I have nothing else to do. Let's just keep doing this. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Who are you? Where are
Sorry.
you? What's up?
My name is Kaylee. I am calling from Houston, Texas.
Hi, Kaylee from Houston, Texas.
I was actually supposed to see you guys. Yeah, I'm supposed to see you guys in Austin this Saturday, and I was really bummed out when the show got canceled.
Oh, me
But
too.
I'll be seeing you guys in September, so
Awesome.
it's all good.
Plus, you get to talk to me on the phone right now, so we get to
I'm so
hang out on
excited.
the phone.
Yeah, I mean it's something that's totally fine with me. Oh, but
What's your question?
I wanted to ask I've been a big fan ever since I was like 14, 13. You guys released the Our Deal music video, and that has been like my favorite music video ever.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
I was just like wondering, what is like your favorite video that you and Bob have shot?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. Honestly, I think my favorite that is definitely one of my favorite videos because that was one of those moments where I was like, I couldn't believe what my life looked like. Like, I was like, what do you mean Drew Barrymore is directing a music video for me? And like Donald Glover's in it and Chloe Moretz and Shailene Woodley and like all these massive stars. It was so crazy. So that is definitely like very much at the top of the list. But I think my favorite video is the one that we just did not too long ago for Everything Has Changed, with the Vanderpump Rules cast in it, because number one, it was a concept that I came up with, and my friend Ryan Baxley, who directed the video, he came up with like the twist at the end with the the unveiling of the destroyed set. But it was really cool for me because I'm such a huge like reality TV fan and a huge Vanderpump Rules fan, and I like kind of like came up with that concept in my brain, but didn't really. I thought, nah, that'll never happen. Like, yeah, right. Like, I'm never going to be able to make that happen. And then I got to make it happen. So it was really cool. And I think for me, like, it's just so cool to see that like my thoughts became real. So I would say that that's probably why it's my favorite. And my friends are in the video, and it was just a really fun day when I got to make it. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, the Everything Changed video is I love it, so quirky. Like it's so great.
Thank you.
So like you guys always release like the best videos that I've ever seen. So I can't wait to see more if you guys are gonna make more.
Yeah, we definitely will. Thank you so much for calling. It was nice to talk to you.
Thank you so much. See you in September.
Okay, bye. Okay. Hi, Mila. Mila, hi, Mila, hi. You guys, Mila from the legendary LA band, the Linda Lindas, is in the chat. She's listening. Hi. All right, let's take another call. Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Who's this? Where are you?
How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm Eric, and I'm from. That's good. I'm from Hoboken, New Jersey, right now.
Hi, Eric from Hoboken, New Jersey. What's up?
No, just chilling. Wish I got to see you guys last week in New York. Really looking forward to it. It's been my first time seeing you guys.
Aww. Well, we'll be back in September. Hopefully you can come.
Yeah, I'll be there at Brooklyn Steel. So
nice.
No worries there.
Awesome. What's your question?
So I was just curious, like, because you guys have very unique art styles for all your albums. I was kind of curious what gave you like your ideas for each one. So,
well, each album, like, obviously there's such a different theme and a different kind of vibe. So I remember like the album cover for Crazy for You, like we were on tour and we had to come up with an album cover, and I said, I was like, I just wanted to look like a vintage postcard with my cat on the cover. And that was essentially what it became. So that was that. For the Only Place album, it was like we wanted to, the only place was very much inspired by California and sort of returning home after being on tour. And so we wanted it to be very like emotive of California. So it made a lot of sense to put the state there with the state holding the shape of the state in it. So that's where that came from. California Nights album cover was inspired by, Bob had an idea to sort of replicate the I'm blanking on what it was inspired by. It was there's a movie. Hold on, I'm going to Google it. Thank God I have my computer open. Robert Downey Jr. It's like the Bret Easton Ellis. Why can't I remember?
I think I know what you're talking about. I can't put my finger
Less
on
than
it
zero.
either.
Less than zero.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's it.
The soundtrack cover to that is like he's sitting by a pool, and anyway it felt again like a very kind of California album, and that's like a kind of like a LA movie. So we went and shot it actually at the house that was from Less Than Zero, so that was really cool. And then for Always Tomorrow, the album cover is a window that was in my living room at a house that I was living in when I wrote that record. And it was just kind of like I wanted it to sort of be like this vibe of like this idea that we always, there is always tomorrow and there's always another chance. And I think for some reason that view and just this idea of looking out onto the horizon is an uplifting sort of image. So that's where that idea came from. And yeah, they're usually like collaborative efforts between Bob and I, and we usually like try to work with really cool artists. Or our friend Kevin shot the album cover this time around, and California Nights was shot by this really amazing female photographer named Janelle Shirtcliffe. So yeah, we like to collaborate with just like a bunch of different people and make our ideas come true. So yeah, thanks for calling.
No, thank you. That's awesome. And I can't wait to see you guys in September.
Okay, awesome. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, hello. Oh, Epitaph is still in the building saying hey to Carlos. I love that I can see what you guys are doing in here. I think there's still people on the line, but I know that there are people that are also asking questions in here. So I'll get to the people on the line, but I just want to answer some questions here really quickly or from my email so these people don't get left out. Let's see. I'll click on. Oh, you know what? A lot of these people are the people on the line. Never mind. I'm just going to keep answering the line. Okay, hold on. Hello? Hello? Hi, are you there? Are you able to mute your computer?
Hi, are you there? Are you able to mute your computer?
Hello?
Hi. Hey, are you
Hello?
able? Hi.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Are you able to just mute whatever device you're listening to the show from? Did you do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
think I turned off the
Okay, cool.
YouTube, maybe whatever.
Okay, hi.
Yeah, I'm a boomer, so I'm not too hip on the technology.
That's okay. What's going on? Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Well, Bethany, I saw you guys play the Ready Room in St. Louis, about 3-4 years ago, I guess it was, after the California Nights record came out.
Oh, nice.
And yeah. And I saw you on the floor, wanted to say hi to you, but I didn't want to creep you out or anything. So then Bob walked with me. I didn't realize I thought Bob was taller. I couldn't tell from the video, especially those early ones. We had that girl drummer.
Yeah, Bob and I are both pretty short. We're both shorties.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that. You get on stage, hey, you're taller than everyone. So the gal that was in the early videos that was a drummer, what happened to her? I was just curious.
Oh, Allie Kohler, who was, she was in the original kind of lineup that we had early on. We just, we went our separate ways, and Allie started her own band called Upset that she's made a lot of records with. And she went and did, Allie was in the Vivian Girls, and she went and did a reunion with Vivian Girls, I believe like a year ago. And she's a mom now. And yeah, we still stay in touch. And
I think I've seen her in a. I didn't know that was her, but I think I've seen that video you're talking about.
Yeah. And she has her own band now too called Upset, which is really cool. So yeah, we're actually like, we live pretty near each other. So we're neighbors. We run into each other every once in a while. But yeah, just over time, the band has evolved and we've brought in different players and yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I like that. Your drummer that you had in St. Louis, he's pretty good. I guess I don't know if he's still with you or not. Some guy.
Oh, cool.
But whatever. So yeah, it's really great you took my call. I'm sorry I kept you.
No, that's okay. No worries. Thanks for tuning in and nice to talk to you.
Yeah, if you ever get back to St. Louis or even Nashville, I'll go to Nashville. Right now I'm in the southeast Missouri in the Boot Heel.
We'll be in Nashville in, I think, September or October. So
really,
yeah,
wow, man!
We'll be there.
Hope they lift the restrictions.
Yeah, I know. Well, fingers crossed. Well, it's nice talking to you. Enjoy your day.
Hey, you do the same.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay. Let's see. How about we go? Let's just do this until I guess 4:30. Because we have some other callers. I mean, there's still people in here. Fuck it. Let's just keep going. Sorry, I'm very insecure, and now I'm just talking to myself in front of you all. Okay, gonna answer another call. Just a heads up, just because I know that man experienced this. If you do get picked, just remember to please mute whatever device you're listening to the show on. Otherwise, it will feed back. Just a heads up to you guys. All right. Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, what's up? Who is this? Where are you?
This is Danny from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hi, Danny from Milwaukee. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm all right. Chilling, just like hanging in there.
Yeah, same.
Listening to some tunes and stuff.
Awesome.
That's about it.
Awesome. Do you have a
just
question?
Trying to keep you positive.
Yeah, same. Do you have a question for me?
Yeah, I do. I was wondering, like, what other music are you listening to at the moment? And is there any other artists that kind of like inspire you or has inspired you creatively?
Yeah, my number one favorite band that really inspires me kind of like all across the board is definitely Fleetwood Mac. I love Fleetwood Mac. I grew up listening to them. My mom was a huge fan, so they're kind of my number one favorite band. Currently I'm listening to a lot of I love this new band called White Reaper. They're not really new, but they're like a more modern band. They're based out of Louisville, Kentucky. I love White Reaper. I love Mannequin Pussy, who's based out of Philly. I've been listening to a lot of Thin Lizzy. Linda Ronstadt's one of my favorite. The Replacements are one of my favorite bands. I love the Eagles, Oasis, Sheryl Crow. We actually just made a playlist for people that are stuck inside, which I posted on the Best Coast Instagram. So maybe you could head on over there and check out some of the tunes we're listening to.
Yeah, totally. I'll do that.
Awesome. Well, thank you for calling.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for answering.
Yeah, totally. Take care. Bye.
Yep, you too. Yep, bye.
All right. Next caller. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello, are you there?
Oh, cool. Hi. Yes.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? Who are you? Where are you?
Good. My name's Bria, and I'm in Huntington Beach, California.
Oh, nice. Cali, what's up? Represent.
Yes, represent. I emailed the question, but
did you?
So just ignore that email.
Okay.
But oh yeah, so I've read a few articles about you, and there's some that talks about how you left the East Coast to come back to the West Coast and start this band. And my question is, when you got back to, like, did you move back with the intention to start this band, or were you like at within, like, on your ass for a while, like not really knowing what's next? Basically, like, can you just talk about that transition of trying to figure out what you were going to do after you left college?
Yeah. I mean, when I left New York, I was like, definitely had the idea in mind that I wanted to start a band, but I really didn't know, like, I didn't think to myself, like, oh, I'm going to like go start a band that's going to become my job. Like, it wasn't really my intention. It was just like, oh, I'll go home and maybe start to like write some music. So when I did first get back to LA, I felt really, I mean, I felt bonkers because I had just left this life that I had been living for the last year. And, you know, I got a job at Lush. I was like working at Lush, the soap store. And I was like, you know, selling bath bombs to people. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? So I definitely did feel that, that feeling of just like uncertainty and not knowing what I was going to do. And then I just really like, I started Best Coast right away. I started writing songs. I started sending them to Bob. And then over time, things just kind of like snowballed and started to happen. So it was never like I came here thinking like, I'm going to make this happen. And this is what it's going to look like. It just sort of just happened for me, you know, which I'm really lucky. This band is really lucky that we got the opportunities that we did in the beginning.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you prevailed.
Thank you. And I see here that you're going to come to the OC show in October, so we'll see you there.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'll see you then.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Bria.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, next one. Here we go. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh my gosh, I did not expect you to answer. Wow.
Here I am. How's it going? Who are you? Where are you?
It's good. Hi, my name is Rebecca. I'm from Chicago. I was actually one of the girls who sang and danced on stage with you at the Cycle Fest. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That was the best. I needed you guys that day so badly.
So much fun. It was one of the best days of my life.
for people that are listening, I'll just like briefly explain what we're talking about. Best Coast played a show like in Chicago last summer. I think it was like maybe last summer, and I was having like really bad anxiety that day, and I was just like so spaced out, and I forgot all the lyrics to Do You Love Me Like You Used To, and I just stopped the song and asked people to come on stage, and there was a big group of girls that came on stage and sang the song for me and with me, and you were one of them. So that's just to let people know what the hell we're talking about.
Right. But yeah, like other people, I've been listening to Best Coast since I was like 13. Like, scribbled your lyrics all over my like dresser. My mom was so mad. And like, right now I work for a radio station, and I just got your Always Tomorrow CD into the station, and I was like, I took it home with me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Actually, and it's really great. So thank you for that.
As a person who works for a radio station, can you tell me, am I doing a decent job at being a radio show host?
Oh, I mean, you're doing better than me. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. For those listening, it's 88.5 KURE.
Yes. Get on that station.
Online listening.
All right. So what's your question?
My question. Yeah, my question to you is just our general staff questions that we have at the station, when they're all listening, by the way, because we love you.
Oh, I love that.
Is how much would you be willing to pay for a pair of pants?
Oh my God, what a question.
Yeah.
I am super cheap. I'm like really budget. I don't spend a lot of money on clothes. Like if any of my friends are in here listening, like they will be the first to tell you, like, I am so cheap, and I really am on a tight budget with myself constantly. So honestly, oh my God, I don't even know. I'm like, If they were really nice pants that I was planning to wear like on stage or for some like really fancy event, I'd probably the most I would be down to spend is like $150. If they were just like, which is like really expensive, but like if I was just trying to get like casual, I love someone said yay for frugalness. It's true. I'm very frugal. If I was just trying to get like lounge pants, I mean, I'm not spending more than like $20 on a pair of pants at Target. Sorry, it's not going to happen.
No, I love it. I totally agree. Thrifting all the way. That's awesome.
I
Thanks
love
so
that
much.
question. Thank you so much for calling.
Yes, of course.
All right.
I was supposed. Yeah. Have a great rest of your day.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Oh my God, Marissa, you're still here. Marissa says it's true. We literally just talked about this yesterday. It's very true. It's super cheap queen. All right, let's take another one. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, how's it going? Who are you? Where are you?
Good. My name's Duncan. I'm from the chat, and I'm in
Hi,
Vancouver,
Duncan.
British Columbia.
Oh my God, we have a Canadian in here. What's going on?
Yeah, international calling. What's up?
Oh my God, bless you for spending that money.
Well, I mean, we'll see if I end up paying the phone bill. We'll find out.
How's it going? What's your question?
It's good. Question was basically just regarding the people that work sort of in the venues and the gig economy and like your, lighting and sound people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them kind of fall through the cracks when it comes to unemployment insurance. So it kind of hits them pretty hard. I'm a bartender, so we've been closed for over a week now. But
Yeah.
I saw there was a movement from, it was like Snail Mail, Nutrimilk Hotel, and a couple other bands that were pushing for them to be included into unemployment insurance. Is that something Best Coast would throw their support behind?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm such a advocate for like, I mean, anybody who knows or has been paying attention to me throughout this like whole election cycle, like I'm all about Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders literally like wants to make these things possible for all humans. It's like it's not fair that there are certain industries where some people get paid leave and some people get unemployment opportunities and then there are other industries where people get nothing. I do feel really intensely for people that work in venues or people that, do jobs like you're saying, like merch people or lighting directors or sound people that are struggling right now. And I will say that that is an initiative that I would really push for. But I will say that like for my own band and crew, like when this all went down, I made sure to really like take care of them as best as I could because I knew that like it's a lot harder for them to find opportunities to make money in crisis like this. And I'm not making any money off of this or anything like that. I'm just doing this because it's like gives me something to do. But I think right now the best that we can do is to really like advocate for the people that really are fucked in this position. It's like there's a lot of people out there that are really fucked.
Yeah.
And I really hope that our government, and I don't know so much about what your government is doing, but like I really hope that the United States government like does what would be right to do, which is give people something. I know they're talking about giving everybody like $1,200 or whatever, but it's like that's not enough money for people. So yeah, I mean, is there like a place I can sign for that? What do I do? I'm all about advocating for all the people out there that really need help because this is such an intense part of what's going on in the world right now is how many people out there are going to struggle because of this. And it breaks my heart. So
Yeah, it's super tough. I don't know exactly where you throw your support behind. Like maybe reach out to Lindsay Jordan or someone who was involved in that. But
yeah.
up here, it's sort of the same thing. They're promising us, I think it's about 2,000 a month, and then the provinces might chip in on top of that. So maybe just go to the state level as opposed to federal. I don't know.
Yeah, this person on here says tip your service workers extra right now. Venmo, PayPal, every little bit helps. That's really true. I've been trying to like stay connected in terms of like supporting local business. I went to like a local Italian market yesterday in Delhi and I tipped really big. And when our tour got canceled in Detroit, my waitress at IHOP, I gave her like a big tip. It's like anybody that has to be working right now, I just want them to know like they are like the true heroes right now. The people that are out on the front lines in grocery stores and working in the medical field, like those are the heroes right now that are really like keeping this country afloat, whereas the the people in our government are not. So shout out to all the people out there
Exactly.
that are working super hard, and thank you for that question. I'm definitely going to look into that and see how I can help and take care up there in Canada.
Awesome. Well, let us know if you need any help down there.
All right, thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, hi. I just want to really quickly say before I take another call, just in terms of that question right there, like I really feel for people right now that are struggling financially, and for people that are still having to go for work or still having to go to work. Like it's just such a crazy time in the world, and I think that's why it's so important to lead with empathy. To just be nice to the people that are in these stores that are having to work, and again, like if you do get a delivery, if you're getting something sent to you from Postmates, like if you can afford to give that driver a little bit of extra money than you would normally, please do that. It's so important that we take care of each other right now, since our government isn't. So anyway, I'm not trying to get like too doomy and political on here, but you all know how I feel. All right, I'm gonna take another call, and then I think I might wrap this thing up after the next call. There are a couple people still on the line, but I think that I really want to I'm loving this format. I'm loving this platform. I hope you guys are too. It's so much fun, and I really want to do more of this. So I want to try and save some stuff for next week. So I'm going to take one more call, and then I'm going to do a quick little sign off. And then please remember that you can email me questions at askbethline@gmail.com. You can also, when the chat is happening, you can ask questions in the box. But yeah, I'll do a little spiel at the end of this. But let me take one last call, and then I'm going to wrap it up. You can ask questions in the box. But yeah, I'll do a little spiel at the end of this. But let me take one last call, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Hello? Hello?
Oh, Heidi.
Hi. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. What is your name, and where are you calling from?
I'm Eva, and I'm from the Bay Area. This place called Redwood City / Redwood fucking shitty. Anywho, my question was, yeah, I hate it here.
Aw,
but
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I mean, it's like a nice middle point in between San Jose and San Francisco, but it's just I don't know. I read your article, or what you said in an article today about being sober and stuff, but I tweeted earlier, I think our generation and certain scenes romanticize unhealthy behavior, or even being intoxicated. This past week has made me reflect a lot. Drugs aren't really cool. I'm also trying experimenting new shit, but at the end of the day, they become a problem if you abuse them.
Yeah.
Is there a thing or certain event that made you go sober, or just you were just sort of, oh, I think it's time, or did you want clear, headspace? You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it was really I think that sobriety for everybody is such a personal journey, and it's such a personal experience, and I think everybody that chooses to get sober has to sort of get to that point on their own. I think it's not something that you can push on somebody, and I think that's why as I've become sort of vocal about my own sobriety, I've always wanted to make it known that it's worked for me, and I hope that I can inspire other people. But I also completely understand that again, it only works if you want it. And I think for me it's just the way in which I drank and the way in which I did drugs and stuff, it was so tied into my persona, and it was very tied into my depression as well. And I think I tried to self-medicate, and it didn't work for me. And I was just very sick of being stuck in a cycle that felt very unhealthy. And that is why I just finally woke up one day and was like, I got to stop doing this. And I got to be honest with you, I've never been happier. And I think about this time right now, this isolation period that we're all in, and I just think I would be so fucked if I wasn't sober, because I would just be really really going for it in here by myself.
Same. I just want to drink all day, but I'm no, don't drink. I haven't
don't
had
drink.
a drink in probably 5 days.
Don't do it.
But
It's
little
not
question,
good for
are you
your
sober
immune
in general or
system.
just from certain substance? Yeah, I know, dude. After I like party and shit, I wake up the next day. I'm just like, why did I do that? I feel like shit. Like it's somewhat fun in like the time being when you're with your friends, but half the time I'm just reflect on myself. I'm like, wow, do I really need another shot? Like I'm just sad.
Yeah, well, you should always just reach out to people. I would say that that's my biggest advice to anybody who's listening to this who's trying to get sober is reach out. Like don't stay alone with your thoughts. Reach out to people, especially other people you know that might be sober because they can give you some guidance. And I heard what you asked. I'm fully sober. I don't partake in anything other than vitamins. Those are my party
Good
drugs
shit.
now.
That's what's up.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, good luck
Well,
with
thank you for answering
everything.
my question.
Totally. Take care of
Thank you. You
yourself.
as well.
All right. Bye.
Have an amazing day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys. I am going to close the line here. Here we go. Closing. All right. Fan line has been closed. Thank you guys this David person says Bethany is a natural at this. Glad it is a series. Oh, thank you. I'm honored that you think that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the debut episode of Bethline. I can't believe I just sat here for an hour and a half and talked to you guys. It's so cool that I have this outlet and I'm really excited about what I can do with it. I'm going to do some brainstorming for next week and see what we can do differently. If you have any ideas, if you have any topics you want to talk about or any sort of like comments or suggestions, you can email me at askbethline@gmail.com. But yeah, I love you guys so much. This is awesome. And Ebbs is asking, is Bob going to be a guest? I'm hoping to get Bob on. Bob is like he's just sitting around at home with his cat watching a lot of Netflix, doing what we're all kind of doing. And I asked him if he would want to come on and talk to me about a certain TV show that we're both watching, but I have to finish the TV show before we can talk. But yeah, I'm going to have a lot of my friends come on here and talk, and hopefully I can like get some cool resources to you guys and try and help you during this weird time that we're all at home. So yeah, thank you guys so much. This person says LOL got here right when it's ending. Hi, Art with Oggs. It is going to end, but we will be back next week. Same time, same place. Please email me if you have questions. AskBethline@gmail.com. Like and subscribe and all that shit that all the people on the YouTube say. Thank you guys. I love you. This has been so much fun. Thank you for giving me a space to take my mind off of what is going on in the world. I'm wishing you all the best, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.